Hey everyone, I'm James and I am here to do a quick unboxing video for a pre-release pack from the new Magic the Gathering set, Core Set 2019. What's really cool about pre-release packs, if you're unfamiliar with them, is they come with 6 booster packs and even one of these little spin down life counters that you can use to keep track of your life. It's a really cool little thing that Wizards does for new sets to kind of give people an idea of what the new cards are like. It's also a really great way to get a sneak peek of the new set before the set actually releases officially. What I like about it is it puts everybody kind of on the same playing field because everybody has 6 packs to choose from. They don't get to pull from their own collection to make the best deck in the world. So as you can see here, you get 6 packs in your box. You also get a special date stamped foil promo card. Mine is this Master Thopterus dude. I was kind of hoping for one of the Planeswalkers, but I guess he's alright too. So we'll just put him over there. And then here is the spin down counter that you get. I got a blue one. That's my second one this time. So anyway, what we're going to do is we're just going to open these packs, check out what we have. I typically, as I open the packs, I like to divvy the cards up by color. That way I can see what I'm going to be playing with. Give me an idea of what my pool will be from that I get to play with. Just see what I have. Hopefully we get some good stuff. Magistrate's Scepters, my rare in this pack. Pay 4, you get to put charge counter on it. Remove 3 of those charge counters and you get to take an extra turn after this one. So that could be kind of cool. And then of course you get the basic dual land and a token. Or a common dual land, sorry. So he's good. When you get more of a single color or two, give you quite a bit to choose from when you're trying to make your deck. As you can see so far, I don't have a lot of green, so I'm probably not going to be using green in this deck. I'm really excited to have this card here, the Valiant Knight, mostly for my own collection, but I think this would be pretty strong if I get enough white cards for this deck. So let's see what we get out of there. Okay, more blue. I could do without blue. Now we're starting to get some green. Wow, we had more green in that pack than the other 2 packs combined. Fraying Omnipotence, not really a card that I'm going to enjoy playing. Definitely not going to use it in this. Each player loses half their life, then discards half the cards in their hand, then sacrifices half the creatures they control, round up each time. I'm sure that's great somewhere, but not here. Blue. There's some nice burn right there. Discard. That ghost form, I don't like blue a lot, I really don't. But this ghost form card's pretty cool. 1 blue, 1 colorless. Up to 2 target creatures can't be blocked this turn. In a limited format like this, that can be really powerful. Goblin Trashmaster. Other goblins get +1/+1. I sack a goblin, destroy target artifact. I can see that being something. So far it's looking like black and red might be my strongest colors, although white's putting up a good fight, and that Valiant Knight, I just really want to play that card, but we'll see. And that's the tricky thing with these, like, don't get caught up on one card, like, oh, this is the card I have to use, because it may not work out the way you want it to. So you kind of have to play with everything you have and not get sucked in by the fact that it's a rare or this awesome Planeswalker Mythic, the Tezzeret Planeswalker. that's really exciting to get that. I don't know if I'm going to play blue, but if I do, he's definitely going in there. Last pack. So far, I'm not too upset. I got 2 rares that I'm really excited about. A couple that I'm just kind of meh about. But let's see what we get out of this one. Suspicious bookcase. That's fun. Banefire is the rare out of this pack. Not too bad. Direct damage is always fun, especially in a limited format like this. 1 red and X colorless to do X damage to any target. If X happens to be more than 5 or more, sorry, you can't counter the spell and the damage can't be prevented. So that's pretty cool. So now, after I have all my packs open and my cards separated by color, I like to go through and separate the colors into 2 piles, creatures and spells, and then that helps me figure out, do I have any creatures with evasion, like flying or maybe trample or death touch, even little battle tricks kind of things. And then I look through my spells and see if I have any removal that would help me get rid of my opponent's creatures that are causing me headaches. So far, white's got a little bit of stuff. As far as battle tricks or whatever, I do like the Luminous Bonds, and I do like the Take Vengeance. So white is looking good so far. Let's see what blue's got for me. I'm not really a fan of playing control ever, but sometimes, you know, I get forced into it doing these formats. And that ghost form is really cool, so it's tempting me, but we'll see how everything adds up, and we'll go from there. One thing I like about blue is that's going to be the color where you're going to get a lot of flyers, blue and white especially, sometimes black, but sometimes I'll do an aggro-y blue build just because I get a lot of flyers, and I usually splash red in so I can have some burn. And of course, black and red's always the best for the removal as well. Didn't get a whole lot of removal in this black. The Strangling Spores is nice. Target creature gets -3/-3. But that's really it. I mean, Mind Rot is kind of removal because they get to discard 2 cards, but it's not as strong as, you know, destroy target creature or anything like that. There are a couple of creatures in here I noticed as I was separating, though, that during the pre-release weekend I got to play and were actually pretty strong. This Infectious Horror, 1 black, 3 colors for 2/2, not that great, but when you look at what it does, every time it attacks, each opponent loses 2 life. That's 2 life they can't do anything about. So if they can't get rid of this creature, they're gonna lose the 2 life every time. Another good creature I noticed in here is this Vampire Neonate. 1 black for 0/3, so that's cool, but you pay 2 colorless, each opponent loses a life and you gain a life. In a limited format like this, sometimes the games can go a little long because you're not drawn into the creatures you need or the lands you need, either you or your opponent. So if you're sitting on 2 colorless, you can do that every turn and just kind of chip away at them and also gain your life back. That's a very strong card. It's unfortunate I didn't get any more because that would definitely steer me towards black, but it's something to think about here. This one's kind of neat. Epicure of Blood, 1 black, 4 colors for 4/4. Whenever you gain life, each opponent loses a life. Well, if I'm paying the 2 colorless for the opponent to lose life and me to gain a life, well, they just lost another life. So that's kind of a cool little combo. I'll keep that in mind as I'm going through the colors. See what our red gets us. Electrify, that's nice. Lightning Mare. This Vioshino Pyromancer is kind of nice. It's a 2/1 for 1 red and 1 colorless, but when it enters battlefield, it does 2 damage to target player or planeswalker. I like him a lot. Another Electrify. Catalyst Elemental. Sack it to get 2 red. That comes in handy. There's our Trash Master again. Another Electrify. 3 Electrifies and a Lava Axe. Act of Treason. That's fun. So, Haven't even gotten to green yet, but I already know that I'm wanting to splash red in because I'm getting Active Treason, Lava Axe, Electrify, 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 and Banefire. I mean, sure, Electrify and Lava Axe, they are expensive, but by the time we get to the point where I have enough mana to cast those, they're going to have big enough creatures that I'm not going to want to deal with, that these will come in handy. So I'm okay with that. Would I've liked to have had some more shocks, 1 red to do 2 damage? Yeah, that would have been cool, but late game, those aren't that great. So I'm okay with those. Root Snare is pretty cool. Prevent all combat damage that would be dealt this turn, so that's potential. Blanchwood Armor is kind of nice, especially if you're running a lot of forests. Titanic Growth always good, another armor. A Death Touch Basilisk, so this is something to think about. Keep in mind there, he doesn't have flying, it's not evasion per se, but nobody really wants to block something with Death Touch and lose one of their best creatures. Get to draw a card. Vigilance is always good. And Oakenform, enchanting creature gets +3/+3. Artifacts, the bookcase is kind of nice. It's a 0/4, pay the 3, target creature can't be blocked. That could be good late game. Explosive Apparatus is nice. 1 colorless to put out, you gotta pay 3 though, and sack it, and it does 2 damage to any target. That can come in handy to get rid of a little 2/2 with lifelink. Ran into those a couple times. So I can see using that. And what are our multicolor spells? I'm not going to play green and black, so I have no interest in this card. Even though it does have reach, so I can block my opponent's flyers, and Death Touch, even better. And I just think this is too much 5 for a 3/3 flyer. Sure, they discard a card and I get to draw a card, but I don't know. I'm not a fan. And the date stamped foil, you can use them in your deck, but since I'm not having any intention of playing blue, I'm not going to worry about opening this to use. So let's see what red and white gets us. These are the colors I like the most so far with what they have. And like I said, I'm a little biased towards the white because I really want to play that Valiant Knight. I got to play some people over the weekend who had that card, and it was really cool. So now what I do is I'll take my creatures and I'll separate them by the mana cost and just kind of create a little curve here, just to kind of see what I have to play with. This down here. A 1/2 flyer for 1 white is awesome. 2 Angel of Dawns, it's 5, but it's a 3/3 flyer, and again in this format, 5 for a 3/3 is not too terrible. Granted, it would have been awesome if it was the Resplendent Angel, a 3/3 flyer for 3, but beggars can't be choosers, right? That there, that there. I don't think I'm going to play around with the scepter. It's a cool idea, but I don't know if it's going to fit in here, so I'm just going to set this off to the side. Luminous Bonds, Inspired Charge. I'll probably end up taking that out, but I'm going to leave it for the moment just so I can see what I have as far as non-creature goes for white. Can't believe how much burn I got there. Tectonic Rift is nice. You get to destroy a land and creatures without flying can't block. This is really powerful in this format because a lot of times, they're trying to do 2 or 3 colors, and one way of getting that 3rd color might be a dual land, and you take that out, and you'll probably lose a friend in the process, but that's a pretty cool card. And then creatures. One thing I don't like about the red creatures in this set is all the ones with a high power and toughness have double color mana cost. I try to limit the amount of those I put in a deck like this because I don't want to get stuck having, 1 mountain and like 5 plains. So I'll put maybe 1 or 2 in, but I'm going to limit that. I don't know. We'll see how this all plays out, but I doubt that even one of these will make it in. Let's see what we have before I get ahead of myself. Forgot how to count there for a moment. Okay, so again, obviously I'm not going to use every single one of these cards to do my deck, especially like I said, when you look at the red, look how many creatures have the double mana card. I don't want to use all those. When I look at what cards I want to remove, I'm looking at this Goblin Trashmaster. How many other goblins do I have in this deck to justify paying that 2 red and 2 for a 3/3? Um, I technically will have the Goblin Warrior, the Instigator, and then this 1/1 token. To me, that doesn't seem like enough, so for the moment I'm going to set this aside, see what I have. He's my maybe card. The Spark Tongue Dragon, I feel inclined to keep him in just because, again, in this format, you want some kind of evasion. Sure, he's expensive, but he's a 3/3 and he's going to be flying. And if it's really late game when I draw him, if I can pay the 5 plus the 3, I'll do another 3 damage to him. Highly unlikely that's going to happen, but it's kind of nice to have as an option late game. This Siegebreaker Giant, 5 for a 6/3, it does have Trample, and you can pay 4, and you don't have to tap him, which is great, to make a target creature can't block. So that's tempting too. I'm going to set him aside, and like I said, if I'm going to do double mana casting cost, I need it to do something. So I'm just going to take these guys out. I don't like these guys in here. I'm going to do the fire. I'm going to do dragon. I'm going to put the lightning mare in. Let's see what lightning mare does. Can't be countered, so that's cool. Can't be blocked by any blue creatures, so that's nice. And I can pay 1 red, 1 colorless to give it +1/+0 to end a turn. I'm going to sideboard this because I may not have to go up against any blue players. But if I do, I'll definitely take out, say, like the Catalyst Elemental or something to put this in. So I'm gonna take this one out because, again, double mana casting cost of the same color. I am going to keep the Pyromancer in because anytime you can do direct damage, you should go for it. So that looks like my curve right there. Didn't really talk about a lot of the white cards that I'm going to choose. Again, 1 white for a 1/2 flyer, no brainer. I like this guy, Novus Knight, 1 white for 2/3 defender, but if I have a way of enchanting it or equipping it, it can attack as though it didn't have defender. Now, I don't know if you were paying attention, but I have no enchantments in here or auras, and I have no equipment. So why would I put this card in there? Well, it's 1 white for a 2/3 blocker. Also, when you add in the fact that this Valiant Knight gives all my other knights +1/+1, I now have a 3/4 blocker that I don't have to worry about. So that's going to be great to have on the field to slow down my opponent. 3/1 for 2 is always nice. This guy's really cool. 1 white, 1 colorless. He's a knight, so it works with my Valiant Knight. He's a 2/1, but when he enters the play, target creature gets +2/+0 and gains first strike. So that's awesome. Put him into play. Next turn, I'm swinging with a 5/1 first strike. Daybreak Chaplain, a 1/3 lifelink. Definitely, especially with a Johnny's Pride mate. Every time I gain life, I get to put a counter on him. So if you want to come at me with a 1/1 or a 1/2, I'm going to block it, gain the life, and get to put a counter on there. I don't think anybody would do that for me, but This trusty Pack Beast, 1 red, 2 colorless for a 2/3. That's nice on its own. When it enters the battlefield, return target artifact card from your graveyard. I didn't play this card at all this week, and I didn't really see a lot of people who did, but the fact that I'm planning on doing this explosive apparatus, I'm going to put that in there because if I pop this and do the damage, and then I cast this, I get to bring that back and do it again. So I'm going to definitely, I'm going to do that. That'll be fun. The Valiant Knight we've talked about. Dwarven Priest is nice. When it enters the battlefield, gain 1 life for each creature you control. Definitely. I like this Stag. 4 mana for a 3/3, but when he attacks, you get to tap target creature defending player controls. So definitely. Battle Tricks. We've already talked about the Dragon. Honestly, I probably don't need him in there, so if I need to trim, he's going to be the first to go. But I'm definitely going to put these angels in. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 16 creatures. I think I am going to lose the dragon. Alright, so now let's go to our spells. We've already decided Explosive Apparatus is going to stay. I think Banefire should stay, just because direct damage. Crash Through is nice. 1 red. Creatures get trampled, but really I want it for the draw card ability, so I'm going to leave that there. Tormenting Voice is good if you're sitting on a handful of mana that you can't use, but I try not to get to that point, so I'm going to take that out. Take Vengeance, definitely destroy target tap creature. You're going to hit me once with it, but that's all you're going to do. So choose wisely which one you're going to swing with. I'm going to put the Bookcase in there just for a battle trick later in the game, and just have an 0-4 blocker. Luminous Bonds, we talked about that. That's great defense. Act of Treason, I got to use that over the weekend. That was a lot of fun. He's still my friend, but I think he maybe thought about not being my friend after a while. I'm going to take this Rift out. I will sideboard this. If I find somebody playing 3 colors and they're relying heavily on that dual land, then I'll bring this in. But otherwise, I'm going to put these Electrifies in here, and if I need to, I'll take one of those out to put that in. Inspired Charge, again, we're going back to that whole double casting cost and the mana cost. I don't know if I really need it. So, well, let's just see. We'll just see. And then Lava Axe. So I have 16 creatures and 12 spells. That puts me at 28. Ideally, you want to have a 40 card deck, so that leaves me 12 spots for land. Yeah, 12 spots for land. I think you ideally want to try to have maybe 15 to 16 when you're running 2 colors. So that being said, again, trim the fat. We're going to take this Inspired Charge out, and that gives me another spot for mana, so that gives me up to 13 lands. I'm going to take out one of these Electrifies. I love having burn, I love having direct damage, but I don't want 3-4 mana casting cost burn spells. It'd be different if I had like a Shock or Lightning Bolt or something like that, or Lightning Strike. So I'm going to take out one of these. So now we're up to 16, 17, 26, so 14 lands. So where else can I trim away just so I can have that one more mana that I may need? Gosh, this is the hard part. This is where, when you're on a time limit to make a deck at an actual pre-release, it gets kind of hectic, because you're like, man, what am I going to get rid of? Everything's so good. Maybe I'll just go 41 or 42 cards. And that's actually probably what I'm going to do. I typically do that anyway, but I'm okay with doing that. So what I typically do then is I count the mana symbols and divide by 2, and that's how much land I'm going to get in. So if we count the symbols, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 red. So I'd want 5 mountains. So what are we at? 6, 26, so 5, 31, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12, 13, 14, 7. So another 7 on top of that. So we're only at 38 cards. Am I adding right? I don't feel like I'm adding right. 26 plus 5 is 31 plus 7 is 38. Yeah, I would honestly, you know what? I'm going to put this scepter in there. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Now I'm just getting cocky. I'm not going to do that. That's just getting selfish. I'm not going to put that in. You know what? I'll put the Inspired Charge in. Why not? Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 24, 27, plus 5 is 32, 8 white should be enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, yeah, spot on. So that would be my 40 card deck right there. Did I get any dual lands, red, white? Yes, I did. So I would put this Stone Quarry in as one of my mana. I'd probably let that take the place of one of my mountains, or I'm sorry, one of my plains. So yeah, this would be my deck right here, and I feel like this deck would run really well. I've got my evasion with my flyers, their West Ring Fountain, Rustwing Falcon and the 2 Angels. I've got direct damage with my Viashino Pyromancer and the Lava Axe, and removal with the Electrifies and the Take Vengeance. I've got board presence. I can go wide a little, well, not too wide, but I can at least have a board presence with this 2/3 defender. I can't attack with it, which kind of sucks, but having it there as a wall is nice, as is the bookcase. And of course, we got the battle tricks with the Act of Treason, the bookcase, and the Valiant Knight here. Pumping up my knights and letting my knights get double strike if I want to pay into it. So yeah, so this here is the deck I would play if this was my pre-release pack. Again, there were some decent cards in the other colors. I just didn't feel like they had enough oomph, I guess is the right word. And I really don't feel like it would have played very well going with those other colors. Black was tempting, again, because we had that vampire that did the life gain and life loss and the strangling spores, but that's really all I had. The only other thing I would have done differently probably is gone black-red. Red was definitely going to be the color I was going to play because of the direct damage and all the burn. So yeah, anyway, there we go. Thanks for watching, really appreciate it. If you liked the video, let me know. I'd like to hear in the comments how your pre-release went, you know, if you got to go, and what awesome pools you got. I was pretty happy with that Tezzeret Planeswalker, but again, blue wasn't really going to work for me, so I didn't want to play him, and that's okay. Just remember, if you get a chance, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and then you can check out any future videos I have. And yeah, until next time, guys, have a great one.